Today I'm in the studio continuing to work on my painting of a vizsla. I've never painted this type of dog before, but I just love their physique, how muscular they are. So I chose to paint more of the dog's chest in this piece from a compositional perspective because I wanted to show the muscular areas of shadows and texture on the chest, because I think this is a signature of the breed, and I like to try to pick out different things that are aspects of the breed that the breed owner will recognize to put into my portraits. Also, I wanted to make this painting with a different color scheme that I've never used before. And I know when I go into a project like this, it can be tricky because on first glance, when you see my paintings, you might think, well, rainbow animals, they all look similar colors, sort of, but they're actually not all similar colors. I have a handful of color schemes that I've figured out to use that are rainbow colors. They're all the different colors, but there are different types of colors within that. So different blues, different yellows, different greens, that sort of thing, and different amounts of those colors. And in this piece, I wanted to use a specific blue-green. It's this bright aqua green from Liquitex. I love this green, but when it comes to painting animals, I've never used it in too many of my portraits. I've mainly used it in abstract paintings, but what I wanted to do this time was come up with a color scheme that had that green in it as well as a yellow that I mixed from scratch to where it's not something straight out of a tube. So that way it could be a signature color that I have in my paintings that will be hard for other people to match. And I've done this before with other paintings and other color schemes I've created, and it's worked out well. Customers love them. And when I make a series of paintings using these colors, especially the custom colors that I mix up, it makes it really good for them because they can have a collection on their wall that match. And so this will be the first piece in a series that I'll make using this color scheme. But the thing is that it's hard to develop a color scheme with rainbow colors that looks right. Sometimes it takes a lot of trial and error. Painting process, I always use brushes and also palette knives. I like to scrape on thick areas of paint every once in a while as I feel inspiration to do so. There's not a particular method that I have for this. I just like to look at it, and if it feels like it needs something a little extra textural wise, then I'll use the palette knife because it can make abstract textures that the brush can't easily replicate. But the downside is that it is abstract. So if you're trying to do like really crisp details, some area of the painting that you want to look exactly like it would with regard to light and shadow in comparison to the photo, which I always look at a photo while I'm painting. But if I'm wanting to create one of those detailed areas, then I definitely do not use the palette knife. That's where I rely on the brush. But if I'm using the palette knife in an open area that doesn't need a lot of detail, it's super fun to add texture. And customers really love paintings with a lot of texture. And so that's why I like to use the palette knife. It makes it really fun. And I like the surprising nature of the marks that it makes. I like being able to not really know what to expect. This keeps it interesting for me because I love the surprising things about painting that can occur, the happy little accidents that all of a sudden can make the painting just amazing. I've been working on this painting for a few days and luckily everything's been turning out just the way I want it to so far. But sometimes it's tricky because I will put a color on there and I won't like the way it looks, and then I will have to paint over it in white and then put down more color. Either that or I have to just put several coats of another color on top of it so that way I can make sure to cover up that initial mistake color. Sometimes if I make a mistake, I can also wipe it off really quick before it dries, but it's not always the case that that will work, especially if I've made a lot of layers under it and I'm painting all wet on wet. Now, if I'm painting wet on dry, I can definitely take it off, usually if I notice in time that the color balances off. And I feel all this stuff intuitively, right? Like I don't think about how I'm making the colors from an analytical perspective. I don't usually look at a color wheel or anything like that. Every once in a while I will, but most often I just try to see what inside of me feels right when I'm putting the paint on the canvas. So it's a lot of trial and error, really, especially when creating a new color scheme. What is it, buddy? It's a different camera. He doesn't like cameras. A lot of fun with this painting because I love experimenting with new colors and using different amounts of colors that I haven't used together before. It makes it fresh and new, the experience of painting an animal that I've painted a lot of other dogs that look sort of similar to. And so this is how I keep it interesting and I keep the experience vibrant and keeping me inspired. I've had a large number of people ask for vizsla prints, and so that's why I'm painting this particular dog breed. As you know, there are over 200 different dog breeds. I've painted around 75 of them so far, so I keep working along and trying to paint new breeds every year. And so this is one of the pieces that I plan to take to art fairs in the spring and summer season this year. Hopefully I will sell the original at that time, but I'll definitely will be selling prints because prints are the most popular thing that I sell in my art fair booth. And so when I'm making this piece, the entire time I'm kind of keeping it in my head that all of these people are going to be coming into my art fair booth and having huge smiles on their faces when they see this painting. So it makes me really happy and fills me with joy and inspiration to work hard on this piece and make it the very best that I can. Happy with how this painting session has turned out. I have a few more days to go on the piece, but I will keep you all posted. I'll try to post something in the community tab about the final painting when it's finished so you can see the end result. And thank you so much for watching. If you would like to watch more of my vlogs, you can check them out here, and see you next time.